Hey man, I thank you for inviting me out. Today was pretty cool, man. Learning all the things about tensegrity, learning how to leverage my breath to uh go ahead and fix the postural imbalances in my body. It was amazing. I would love to do more work on it. Um, this is something that we need to bring out to the world, I believe, because you have people that are like me with day-to-day issues, day-to-day pain, shoulder pain, back pain, knee pain, ankle pain, and I feel like from doing this, everybody will have a better quality life.
Right.
Coming into being somebody that comes from sports, I think this would change the entire sports world as far as longevity of players' careers, longevity of not just their careers, but their performance,
Yeah.
staying in top performance, being able to elongate their prime.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure LeBron does some of this work, but it needs to be pushed out to all the sports so
Yeah.
that they can go ahead and elongate their prime.
Exactly. So, I'm CRB, and this is an awesome event that we are here at with Nucleus Hub holding. So thank you again, Nucleus Hub. And this is one of the guys and one of my friends here over at the event, and he actually took one of my classes. So I ran a pain movement class that helps people to move without pain. I call it the movement mastery, right? So I'm a movement specialist, and this is what I focus on to help people move pain-free. So basically, what I did here today was I basically explained everything that how you can address your movement to help your body to move pain-free. So if you're dealing with any type of issues in your shoulders, your knees, your hips, it could be because your behavioral dysfunctional issues that are happening through your movement is happening. So kind of give you an idea, the femur, as we know, is connected right all the way to the knee. If that knee, it rotates too early through a movement, that can cause a lot of pain on the knee. It can cause a lot of pain at the hip. It can cause pain even at the ankle. So depending on how the body creates timing into their movement and learning how to leverage properly is going to help create separation and create decompression so the body can be more elastic, more pliable, and ultimately become more durable because of it. And we learn a lot through the actual breath and how breath actually is the key to starting off this practice. When you utilize the breath, you can teach your body how to naturally decompress. And when you teach the body how to naturally decompress through your breath, that creates a biorhythm. And that biorhythm is going to allow the body to make permanent fixes on how the nervous system works, because your body is going to learn through sensations. And through those sensations, your body is going to want to aid its posture and aid how the muscles are working with your nervous system, create this mind-muscle connection. So you balance the tension throughout your body, which is what we call tensegrity. So this is something that I was teaching here at the Nucleus Hub, what is it, Summer Sizzle event. And it's been amazing. We had a great turnout. We have a couple of people that took the class, and I'm going to interview them. So the first one I wanted to interview here was Jamol. So Jamol, he's played football. He's played a lot of other sports growing up. He's a fanatic when it comes to health, wellness, taking care of his body, focus on nutrition. And he's done a lot of stuff to ultimately change his body by doing good stuff with nutrition. And he's been really, really good at what he does when it comes to that space. And he came out here to learn more from me and what I can do. So I'll turn it over back to him. So I'm going to ask you a question. So when it comes down to what you did in this class, what was probably the main thing that you learned through this that is probably a little new based off what I haven't taught you in the past?
Well, I think the learning how to use my breath to bring life into my body instead of just breathing. That there are different ways to breathe. It's not just about taking a breath in and exhaling, but breathing not just into my ribs, but also being able to breathe into my diaphragm, able to breathe into my stomach, and using that pressure to decompress my body. I think that was the most influential part for me, because I could automatically feel the difference in my body. I came here and I was tense. I had some aches and I had some pains, and right now I feel them. So I feel like I want to go and run.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, the thing he's talking about with that breath, my favorite thing to tell people with that is, I like to say, this is how I warm up. Like, I just breathe. That's how I warm up. I believe, and hear me out on this one, I believe that when it comes to warming up and getting the body ready to do stuff, if we're spending hours warming up to get ready to do something, we have to be doing something wrong. Our body should be able to be prime and ready to go at all times. If we go back and we look at times where there was the hunter-gatherer times, the ancient times where you got humans running away from lions or chasing their food, they didn't warm up and stretch and go. I mean, they saw it and they knew they had to go and get after it. And they weren't like, oh shit, I pulled my hamstring. Now I'm getting eaten by a lion. It's a life and death situation.
Correct.
So being prime and ready to go, I think, is key. And I think this has been the biggest key to all this. And what I've noticed for myself too, and I've been doing this practice now for like 6 years, and I've been able to master a lot of the movements that I've created. And I'm constantly working, gaining. There is no plateau to what I've been doing. I've been constantly just gaining through everything that I've done, throwing weight like it's nothing, throwing 90 pounds around like it's nothing, utilizing my whole body and whatnot. So what it's been able to do for my body, which is incredible, is I've noticed when I go to playing my sport, or I go out to run, and I'm about to go out there and sprint, I can literally just go out there and maybe take some breaths, feel my body kind of tensionize a little bit, and I can just go straight into a sprint, full on speed, and feel my body feel good. Almost like it maybe, or even like a jog. Like, I'm just going to jog and then I'll work myself right into a sprint. Like that little bit, just to get the blood flow going. That's all I'm doing. But to feel my muscles warm and ready to go and so prime, and not feeling what I used to do. Like, one of the things that I used to do is spend like 30 minutes in the gym, just, okay, I got to stretch, I got to roll, maybe I got to lift a little bit or do this, and we spend 30 minutes in the gym doing that. But if you do something like this, you spend 1 minute just through that breath work that we did, through creating the right tensions throughout the body to really open up our whole nervous system to work at 100%. It's like going to the chiropractor. When you're done at the chiropractor, everybody feels more energized, because what they tell you at the chiropractor is when your spine is misaligned, it is not, your spinal cord is going through there and it is not picking up the right signals, and it's delaying the signals. So you're working at 40 or 60%. When that gets aligned right away, you get so much energy going to the brain and you get all these signals free flowing. Now you're working closer to 100% and your body feels great. That's the same aspect that you're getting out of this, only you're creating more blood flow through your breath with using the voluntary system and creating more circulation because of that. And then you're allowing permanent fixes to happen because you are creating the muscle tension to pull on bone, and pulling on that bone is what dictates the skeletal structure. So that skeletal structure is now going to sit better. It's going to sit more properly, and your body's going to be more aligned with itself, and you're going to actually feel lighter, which is the best part about it all, I think.
I can really attest to that as far as just the breathing. Since I have started this work with Chad about 2 years ago, I have not had an injury. And I mean, I'm in my mid-30s, and I, knock on wood, I mean, I have been able to stay away from injury even without the stretching. I would go start a breathing exercise, do some myofascial release, the techniques that he has taught me, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to run. I'm ready to sprint. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to do whatever the day has for me. But just realizing how breathing can do all the things that we were trying to do through stretching, it's amazing, man.
Yeah. Side note for all the viewers, he actually took one of my speed what was it? It was the speed camp. Yeah. So we actually did something that I created a whole speed program that's about 40 days, and he increased the speed a lot within those 4 days. And more importantly, he looked like he was running more strong, had a posture, his range of motion skyrocketed, and he just felt really good. And I'll let him testify to that right now. So you let me know what was your biggest notices after that program, because it wasn't just the stuff that I'm teaching here. I was applying it with speed training too as well.
So one of the biggest things from this and then applying it to sports is that it makes everything so much easier. I just used to run with power, and understanding how to leverage my body, leverage my lines of my body, leverage my spiral line to run, it made everything easier. I felt more so that I was gliding when I was running instead of that I'm fighting against force. It's like I was able to run with instead of against. And I mean, I improved my speed within a couple of days, to be honest. Like, my acceleration was not the best. I was having trouble getting out. And just him showing me how to leverage my glute muscles, leverage my hamstring muscles, and run with all of the muscles in my legs instead of being dominant through my quads or dominant through my hamstrings. It was an amazing change, an amazing shift. It also made me have less pains and aches after, because every time I would run, I wouldn't be able to run the next day. Like, I would have to do a hot bath, I would have to do some massage, but the techniques that he showed me even are for recovery. So I would be able to sprint, I'm talking about full out sprint, and then the next day work on some football drills or work on some more speed drills. But I was never to the point where, damn, I can't do this tomorrow. I'm hurt, because everything that he showed me protected me from injury, protected me from harm, protected me from any type of hurt or pains that I was dealing with. And I came in with horrible posture. And just through this program and through the speed program, my posture changed drastically, and that went right into my performance.
Yeah. Hey, it works hand in hand. I mean, what kind of practice? I look at it like, people are always looking, how can I increase my performance? How can I, gain weight, but not like muscle weight instead, and lose fat and all of that? And how can I, work on my range of motion, but also get strong at the same time? All those questions that people ask themselves, like, this practice has been the answer for all of it. I've noticed it for myself. For me, I've gone through a whole change to my approach when it comes to training, and I've been training basically all my life. And when it comes down to everything, I've gone through all the traditional things. I've gone through PT. I've gone through these doctors and seen how they do their surgeries. I've helped people from their surgeries into PT, saw the PT approach, help with the PT approach, done that, and then into strength training and doing the traditional strength training trainings. I wouldn't say there's anything wrong with it. I think it just comes down to there's more knowledge-based stuff out there. And if we just go off what's most common sense to everything, is how the body moves as a whole. And I think that's, taken away a little bit when you think about PT, or you think about, the getting surgery and stuff. They're all focused on the area, and don't focus on the entire thing. Like, what I tell people all the time is they're focused on the symptom and not the system as a whole. And when you focus on the system, which is what this practice does, you're able to leverage yourself to bring your power back to what you can actually do for yourself. And I think that's where things get a little nitpicking and a little scary with when it comes to doctors and PT, because it's like that this is their job, this is their living, and they actually kind of do need people to be hurt to have a living. That's kind of what it is. So it's funny. You always think about it. It's like, what has changed in the past 20, 30 years? And especially when we know that, ACL injuries have skyrocketed 300% in the last 10 years. And players are just getting stronger. And the more important that their bodies are aligned is going to help them with longevity. And when they lose that body alignment, that little slight misalignment, when you go and they running full speed and you see them pull a hamstring running full speed without getting touched, that's something wrong. Like, come on, you're a professional athlete. You should be able to run no problem and not deal with those things, especially if it's happening in like a beginning of a game, halfway through the game. I mean, how do you think they're preparing their bodies? Like, that makes you start questioning a lot of things. So I'm just here to be more of a truth seeker, seeking how to make things better. How can we perform better? How can we just live better? How can we feel better? Like, that's what I'm here for. I'm here for the people. I want everyone to get more empowered for themselves. And that's what's going to help them, get their power back and be able to heal themselves. And I want to be able to show that and help everybody around me, that give them that practice. And as they get better with the practice, they see that they have more control over their body and how they can fix themselves. So
to piggyback on that, I think one of the most important things about this is that it reminds us that the body heals itself. And I feel like we get so wrapped up into finding a temporary solution, like Chad was saying, that we don't look for what the actual root cause of the problem is. And a lot of those problems can be self-healed. Like, again, our body is made to heal itself. So understanding how to leverage your breath, understanding how to leverage your posture, understanding how to leverage your nervous system to create that healing. That's what Chad is bringing to the game. And I think that this is one of the best things this is one of the most important things that I'm using in my adult life so that I can expand on my way of living. I don't want to be 50 years old and stopping. I still want to do all the things that I'm doing in my 30s at 50. And I feel like he has given me a chance to do that. A few years ago, I was talking about, man, I'm not going to be able to do this at 40. I want to be able to do this with my little kid, but I'm not going to be able to because of all the strain and all of the mileage I put on my body. And this gives me a chance to actually elongate my prime.
Right. Well, appreciate having you here. Appreciate Nucleus Hub for hosting us. And I'll see you guys soon.
All right, man. Mixed Muscle Arts. CRB.
Coming at you.